I find it absolutely infuriating, and frankly, I don't know how American customers have not rebelled against this fact that you have grocery prices just going up like there is no tomorrow. Just restaurants, everything being more and more expensive, seems like by the week. And then you also have quality of the same restaurants, same groceries going down. For instance, in this video, you're going to see a guy talk about the meat they got 3 days ago, and it's now spoiled. And it's just $30 down the drain, wasted. You're also gonna see in this video a lot of outrageous fees charged by restaurants and how expensive restaurants have gotten and how their qualities have declined. You're also gonna see how people are just starting to rebel against these high prices charged by restaurants and how a lot of restaurants charging $30, $50 are now empty because of their own doing, because of their own greed in a way. Keep watching.
This is the most expensive restaurant bill ever. This person just spent over $100,000 for dinner. The restaurant they spent their money at was at Nurset Salt Bays restaurant in Dubai. As you can see right there, total amount $398,630. But that's UAED, so I converted that to USD and it's $108,000 USD. But you know what? You do gotta respect them though for tipping the server $90,000. That's insane.
This is why it's cheaper to eat out. I got steaks only 3 days ago, but they are bad already. $27 worth of steaks and they're bad already. $27 in the trash. So this is why it's cheaper for us to just eat out.
I just want to know when as a society we got to this point. Me and my husband went to Chili's last night. Chili's for dinner, right? He got a burger, I got the triple dipper, and we got 2 beers and chips and queso. Tell me why I spent $70 or $80 on dinner last night. For a burger, the triple dipper, 2 beers, and chips and queso. Well, you can't even go to dinner anymore at Chili's and not have the mentality of that you're gonna drop around $100. Freaking blows my mind. Anyways, maybe I'm the only person who, I don't know, cares about it, but that blew my mind. It was insane. I looked at him and I was like, we're at Chili's. I don't care to spend money on a dinner. I like going to dinner for the atmosphere, for the experience. I like going out to eat. I love going out to eat. But Chili's for a burger and an appetizer and 2 beers and some chips and queso. Anyways, that's all. Bye.
You know why I'm always in a bad mood? I just saw a video of 2 guys who are opening up a burger joint, and they started off their video by saying, we're here to fight inflation with our pricing, only to find out that their burgers are $19. This is why I'm constantly in a bad mood.
I think we can all agree that eating at a restaurant has become ridiculously priced in the past few years. We cook at home most of the times, but we like to go out once or twice a week. And I honestly feel like me and my husband, cannot go out to lunch or dinner without spending $50+ and we don't even drink. A couple months ago now, me and my husband kind of just looked at each other after going to a moderately priced restaurant and being that was not worth it. And we kind of just decided then and there that we were either going to go the fast casual chain restaurant route or go to a really nice restaurant where we knew that we were going to get a great meal and it'd be worth what we were paying for. This has kind of helped with that balance of sometimes we don't want to cook, sometimes we want a great experience, but we weren't getting that value out of going to the mediocre restaurant and it being worth our money. So if you kind of feel how we do, I don't know, this might be something to help your budget or just kind of help your sanity in these times where you can't get a reasonably priced meal at a restaurant.
I hate expensive restaurants because I think it's a waste of money. You're gonna shit it out anyway. I find a lot of times they're incredibly pretentious. You don't even have a good time because everybody's so posh, just about wipe your ass for you. And then the bill comes and it's like a ridiculous amount, and then you go home and you just get pissed because sometimes you're still hungry. Like we were 2 couples and it was like $450. I think it's a waste. For me, like my rich life does not include going to a steakhouse and paying an obnoxious amount of money. We went to a Michelin star restaurant once, Roger and I, and we left there and we got Domino's pizza.
The government should really consider sending out another wave of stimulus checks because nobody is truly secure out here. I just left a restaurant that I truly enjoy eating at, and I spent about $25 for a meal, which is actually a lot. You should be spending at max $15 for a meal. Let's be honest. 10 to 15 is reasonable for one meal. And I asked the manager about why they increased their prices on the food on their menu. And he was genuine with me. He did not lie. He told me that they don't want to increase the prices, but they have to in order to keep the business running. The fact that he did not hide that from me tells me he's aware and everyone is affected. And he had to step up to the game and adjust, increase his prices.
It does not look good. Not even a little bit.
Eat it slow so you can get the flavor through. Like maybe it'll seem like more than what it is if you eat it slow.
I think I have to explicitly say no tips. I don't ask for tips anyway. Like I charge what I charge and that's what I want to make, and I'm fine with that. But some people will tip me and think that means I'm going to answer their text or email at 3 a.m. I didn't ask for it, and I'm definitely not pressuring you to tip. So I think this year I'm just going to write out no tipping.
I'm officially done with eating out in Los Angeles. These 2 things came up to $28.54. Understand inflation and things are changing, but I also think a lot of these restaurants are taking advantage of us because there is no way that this breakfast burrito should cost $19. And then there's no way that this 1 espresso shot and 1 shot of heated oat milk should be like $7. All of this together was $28.54 with tax. Eating out, going to restaurants, is one of my favorite things to do, but it's now going to be a thing of the past. So if you see me out here eating out on my channel, you can roast me because I'll be eating at home from now on. It's so expensive. And eating out has always been like a convenience or a luxury. But I feel like right now, today, in this day and age, people are acting funny. By the people, I mean the restaurant associations. And maybe I'm wrong. I just know my pockets, I don't want to pay $28.54 for a breakfast burrito and a mini coffee. It doesn't make any sense. And when things don't make sense, I don't participate anymore.
Let me just say this also, okay? When you are coming out to these upscale restaurants, make sure you have some just-in-case money. Because it's no reason why I had a table the other day that I asked, do you want bottled water or you want, tap water? Yeah, let me get bottled water. Fine. Bottled water. Cool. Bring the bottle out, pour the bottle. You feel me? It's like this much left in the bottle because it's like a 750 liter. Dude, like, can we take the bottle back? We don't want to drink anymore. What the fuck are you saying to me right now? And I'm like, unfortunately, once we open the bottle, we can't return the bottle. Why do you really think it's okay for you to think that you are going to sip out of this bottle and then, oh yeah, I don't want it no more. You can take it off the tab. Y'all need to go to places y'all can afford because y'all be trying to go to these upscale restaurants and y'all can't afford them.
Okay, maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but if all you do is open my can, if all you do is grab the pre-made whatever it is from the shelf to hand to me, I'm not tipping you. I'm not tipping you. I don't care. You didn't do anything extra to earn the tip. And on top of that, if you're working in customer service, that's your job. Your job is to go above and beyond if you want that tip. I'm not just gonna tip 20% because that's what you're supposed to do. No, you chose that job. Pick another job if you hate it. I'm sorry, it's not my responsibility to pay your bills when you have a job that should do that for you. Go above and beyond. Anyways, that's my 2 cents. Literally, here's my tip.
I do not tip. at those little credit cards spin around kiosk things that they have at like coffee shops and bakeries and clothing stores and fast food, whatever, like any place that you're just like buying something at the counter and they spin those things around and say like, it's going to ask you a couple questions. I don't tip. And I have no shame about it, because what am I tipping for? You didn't give me a free upgrade. You didn't give me a free extra shot of espresso. You didn't give my coffee a little kiss and tuck it into bed at night and give me a free discount. Nothing. Like, your job is to stand behind the counter at a coffee shop and make my coffee. And I paid for my coffee. I'm already paying $9 for this 20-ounce iced oat milk latte or whatever. Your job is to make it, and your employer's job is to pay you to do that. Right when I'm inserting my credit card into the machine and you make a cute little comment like, oh, I love your earrings, or oh, your makeup looks so cute today, I'm not going to tip you because of that. Like, thank you, but a compliment is not worth another $2 on top of this $9 coffee to me. And I am a people pleaser to the core, but I think we all just need to take a step back and stop being a people pleaser in this situation. The people behind you, sure, they can see that you clicked 0% on the tip. And I promise you, as a person who stands behind other people in line, if someone sees you tip 0%, they're not thinking to themselves, oh, what a monster. Oh, what a terrible person. They didn't tip anything to this barista behind the counter. No, they're thinking, thank God someone else thinks this is as stupid as I do. Now I'm not going to be the only one that doesn't tip 0%. We all need to stop. Pay for your items, pay for the things that you're ordering, and let the employers pay their employees. Inflation is high enough, corporate greed is high enough. It is not up to the customer to pay the employee extra on top of what they already make. If we keep tipping at those kiosks, and the employers are getting exactly what they want. But if we stop tipping, they start making less and they start complaining to their employers. Or they leave and they go work somewhere else where the employer actually pays them enough, and then the employer has to start paying them more. It starts with us, and we need to start doing it.
And in 2026, I need you to keep that iPad flipped towards you, okay? I don't want to tip for groceries and clothes that I picked up myself. It's really awkward. I also do not want to donate to whatever charity that I haven't researched that you need to donate to as a huge corporation. Like, why are you, Sprouts, asking me to round up $2 instead of rounding up yourself? Like, I feel like you as the organization, you have like how many stores? Y'all are doing too much. You're asking too much. We're tired. Keep the iPad towards you. Thanks.
Tell me why I went to Taco Bell the other night, and hold the judgment, okay? It was late at night. I'm like, you know what? Dinner's on me. I thought I was gonna go to Taco Bell. We were gonna get a couple of quesadillas, a chicken quesadilla, Crunchwrap Supreme, just a couple things for everyone, out with my nephews and all. I'm thinking I'm about to just run up a $20 bill. For 5 of us, the bill came out to $40. My shirt says, strange times, if that ain't the truth. $40, that's 40. $40 at Taco Bell. It was 5 of us. Let me tell you something. Had I known that I was fixing to spend $40 at Taco Bell, 1, I would have never said dinner was on me. For 2, I would have took us all out to eat for $40. I spent just about the same amount at Texas Roadhouse, okay, for a 12-ounce steak for almost $40. Taco Bell, drive-through, $40 back in the day was a dinner for 2. I don't know, for those of you who don't remember, Chili's used to be 2 for $22, which at one point in time was a nice little outing for $22. $40 at Taco Bell is a crime. It's already a crime to my stomach because, we don't really know what the food is. It's a crime to our pockets. It is really not worth the quality of food you are getting. So yeah, we are in some strange times.
$153. That's all my family and I spent eating out in the month of January. I am 99% certain that's the lowest amount we've ever spent on eating out in probably our lives. And we've been together since I was in like 8th grade and I'm 28. So like close to 15 years. In our monthly budget, we usually do set aside like $900 to $1,000 on eating out, which is insane. We don't usually use all that, but there are some months that we do, especially if we're traveling. I think one thing that made this super easy this month is it's January in Indiana and we've gone into hibernation. And I live right next door to my sister, and as I've talked about in other TikToks, we basically rotate who cooks each night the whole week, so it holds you accountable and makes it really hard to say I need to go out to eat to grab something. I am very curious to know what all of your budgets are for eating out each month, and if you're able to stay under it or if you constantly go over it. I'm interested to see what we do in February, especially with Valentine's Day coming up. One other thing I wanted to mention is our grocery bill was $700, but I feel like, you know, that has room for improvement, but it also could be worse when you're eating basically every meal at home. So at least we're eating the food that we buy. I think we can all agree that eating at a restaurant has become like ridiculously priced in the past few years. We cook at home most of the times, but like, you know, we like to go out like once or twice a week. And I honestly feel like me and my husband cannot go out to lunch or dinner without spending $50+ and we don't even drink. A couple months ago now, like me and my husband kind of just looked at each other after going to like, you know, an moderately priced restaurant and being like, that like was not worth it. And we kind of just decided then and there that we were either going to go like the fast casual chain restaurant route or go to a really nice restaurant where we knew that we were going to get a great meal and be worth what we were paying for. This has kind of helped with that balance of like, you know, sometimes we don't want to cook, sometimes we want like a great experience, but like we weren't getting that like value out of going to the mediocre restaurant and it being like worth our money. So if you kind of feel like how we do, I don't know, this might be something to help your budget or just kind of like help your sanity in these times where like you can't get a reasonably priced meal at a restaurant.
Anytime you walk into a restaurant, ask them, who's your food vendor? And if they say Cisco, just know you about to eat a Lunchable for $40. Like I fucking said, I'ma eat it though.
It does not look good. Not even a little bit. Come on. Eat it slow so you can get the flavor through. Like maybe it'll seem like more than what it is if you eat it slow.
I think we can all agree that eating at a restaurant has become like ridiculously priced in the past few years. We cook at home most of the times, but like, you know, we like to go out like once or twice a week. And I honestly feel like me and my husband cannot go out to lunch or dinner without spending $50+ and we don't even drink. A couple months ago now, like me and my husband kind of just looked at each other after going to like, you know, an moderately priced restaurant and being like, that like was not worth it. And we kind of just decided then and there that we were either going to go like the fast casual chain restaurant route or go to a really nice restaurant where we knew that we were going to get a great meal and be worth what we were paying for. This has kind of helped with that balance of like, you know, sometimes we don't want to cook, sometimes we want like a great experience, but like we weren't getting that like value out of going to the mediocre restaurant and it being like worth our money. So if you kind of feel like how we do, I don't know, this might be something to help your budget or just kind of like help your sanity in these times where like you can't get a reasonably priced meal at a restaurant.
I just had a restaurant try to do me dirty, and by dirty, it was dirty. I go to this restaurant every once in a while and I get a family meal for chicken fajitas, and normally it's $50-something. She hands it to me and she says, that'll be $68. And I didn't say anything. You know, things have gotten a little bit higher. Then she hands me the little tablet to sign. She had put on there 20% as a tip already and just gave that to me as the price. No, ma'am. I put no tip. It's $57. And this isn't like a restaurant where you go sit down. You can go inside, but if you go inside, they call your number and you go get the food. So it's not like I'm like not getting a waitress their tip. And two, I was in the drive-thru. I am shocked. Just to say that I owed her $68 gives me the thing. If I wouldn't have saw that, I would have just signed it and been out the $11 that I don't think they should get. I don't know. Who's in the wrong? Them? Were they trying to cheat me? Are they in the wrong? Or am I in the wrong? Did they get a tip? Do you tip if you go through a drive-thru? I think no.
Since tipping culture has gotten insane in the United States, this is a list of things I will tip for and things I will not tip for. And this is probably going to be an unpopular opinion, but I will tip my food delivery drivers, whether that be DoorDash or Uber Eats. But if my food comes with something missing, if it is delayed and it comes cold, or if you don't follow delivery instructions, I'm not going to tip you. Like if I ask you to leave the food at the door and you keep blowing up my phone to come outside to walk to your car to pick up my food, I'm not tipping you anymore. If I ordered a large fries and chicken nuggets and the fries is halfway done no drink in my meal, I'm not tipping. And don't even get me started when the drive be taking mad long. I don't even know how that happens, but one time I ordered food and it legit took 2 hours to get to me. I'm not tipping for that. Any other thing I will tip for. Another thing I will not tip for are food services that I provide to myself. If I go to a froyo place and I make the froyo myself, I add my own toppings, why would I then get to the front of the register and you switch the register to me to tip? You didn't do anything for me but ring me up. I'm not tipping for that. And the reason I feel this way is because when I was in high school, I worked like a bullshit job where I was literally at the kiosk and I did not do anything. So I didn't expect people to tip me if they were doing all their food services by themselves. Another thing I will not tip for are certain beauty services. Like if I'm paying you to get my hair done and all that cash is going to you, I will not tip, especially if y'all have a cancellation fee, a late fee, and then you guys show up late to my appointment. You expect me to pay for that? No. Don't get me wrong, I tip servicers if the service is excellent. Like, I will send extra money. But if you inconvenienced me in any single way and I'm still paying full price, I do not feel the need to tip. One thing that I do tip for that I feel like the common population does not tip for are people who pump my gas. So I live in New York and it's not common for people to pump gas, but I will literally drive the extra 3 blocks, 4 blocks, whatever, to go to a gas station so that they can pump my gas for me. I know it's extra. I will literally tip the guys that pump my gas because they're literally doing manual labor. They're doing something that I don't want to do for myself. So yeah, I'll tip them. And then around Christmas time or when it's winter and it's colder, I tip them even extra because they're standing out in the cold when I don't want to do that, or if it's raining too. Finally, I always tip at sit-down restaurants because I know in the United States it's so messed up, they do not get paid enough. But if the service is bad, I am not gonna tip, and I'm gonna stand by that. Tipping is supposed to be gratitude for the service, but if the waiter comes and they're rude or something is wrong, I'm not tipping for that. For example, I was in a very, very, very expensive restaurant in Miami not too long ago, and one of the waiters legit poured an entire bottle of wine on one of the people that was at my table. They were also wearing all white. And then instead of making this issue a better thing, the managers came and they were trying to default. Like, no, I'm not doing that. You spilled a whole entire bottle of wine on one of the guests. I'm not tipping. But yeah, let me know if you guys want a part 2 about things I will tip and not tip for.